Hello and welcome everyone. Today I'll be having some close encounters with wild boars. Marvin Tressler wants me to get up close and personal with him this time. So after traveling to Ritterstein Lake, I'll need to harvest 2 boars down within 30 meters. Ritterstein Lake sits on the border between Hirschfelden and Gettysburg. In order to count, the kill will need to be delivered within the highlighted area. The tricky part here is getting within the 30 meters, as boars can be pretty hard to sneak up on and will sometimes charge you if they're feeling feisty. Since there's a lake, I'll definitely be checking for them around the edges during the drink time. I haven't been through the area much yet, so I'll have to do a little scouting before I hunt. Once I know where and when to find them, I'll have to either sneak into range to take the shot, or find some cover and use the collar to lure them in. Dealer's choice when it comes to weapons, so anything class 5 will do best. However, it may be a little too close to use a scoped weapon, so a 12 gauge with slugs or the Ficoso 357 will be my preference. The wild boar collar will definitely be handy for this one, and I'll use the rangefinder to help with gauging the distance. So naturally, I began scouting the edges of the lake during the drink time. I hit a couple of zones that I had already found before, so I expected to at least run across a few when I got there. But after checking the shoreline several times, as well as waiting and watching, I came up more or less empty-handed. I did rediscover a previous zone from before, so I knew that they were still occasionally around. While scouting along the shorelines, I caught a wild boar call in the woods to the west. Since it was a more promising lead than the lake, I decided to investigate. And there I came across the Ritterstein barn. As luck would have it, there was also a zone right next to it. Guessing I might be able to get a pig from inside the barn itself, I thought that might be fun to try. Now armed with a couple of zones to choose from, I found a meadow a safe distance away from both zones and set down a tent. In hopes of catching the boars by the water first, I reset the clock to the middle of their drink time and headed back to the shoreline. And then I finally laid eyes on them. The level 3 was the best of the bunch. Once he settled into his zone, I marked his location with a rangefinder and began crouch walking and crawling my way through the brush and in the reeds. Boars have a good sense of hearing as well as scent, so I went slow as I approached, and thankfully I was downwind from them. Once I made it to the beach, I was just about in range, so I slowly and quietly searched the tree line for some cover to shoot from. I didn't have any great luck that way, but now I was right next to them, so I hauled out the 357 and poked my head above the foliage to take a look. I easily found the smaller one, but had trouble spotting the level 3. When he let out a warning call, I hit the dirt, hoping not to spook him away. I knew he had to be right there, but I just couldn't see through the foliage, so I crawled up a hair closer to pat down the leaves when everything happened all at once. Bruised but not broken, I spotted 2 vital organ shots and a dead pig. He's a light brown colored silver, scoring 91.22. He will certainly qualify for the mission, as both shots were well within the 30 meters, the first at 7 and the second at 12. Both shots were fatal too, so overall I was off to a good start despite my injuries. My second hunt wasn't nearly as eventful, but didn't go exactly to plan either. After returning to the tent, I reset the clock to just slightly ahead of their feed zone time, hoping I could get settled in the barn before they arrived. I got nice and cozy and waited for the pigs to appear. I heard some footsteps coming through the brush to the west, so I took a look. But sadly, I was upwind of them, and, even though I was in the barn, they spooked before getting into a comfortable range. I hopped out of the barn and pursued them, but by the time I spotted them again, they were well outside the highlighted area. They were now nervous as well and wouldn't respond to the collar. With no other choices left, I returned to the tent, reset the time, and tried again. As cool as it would be to get one from the barn, I had a bad wind once again, so I had to come up with another strategy. Since I knew which direction they would approach from, I searched for a vantage on the hill facing the field from before. There wasn't much for brush to hide in, so I stomped down the grass on the side of the hill and went prone. And it turns out just in time. It was only the one boar, but I didn't want to let the opportunity pass me by. He was making a beeline for the feed zone, so I blew out a call to redirect him toward me. I watched from the rangefinder, and as soon as he was comfortably within the 30 meters, I took aim with the pistol and waited for an angle. And he went down quickly. My second pig for the mission is a light brown level 1 male scoring bronze at 36.99. He might not be something to write home about, but he will qualify for the mission. My single shot got him at 24 meters through both lungs. Well, they may not be going in my lodge, and I may not have been able to bag one from the barn, but I'm just glad to have found enough pigs to get the mission done. Now, with the bait feeders, I have that option available too if all else fails. If you found this video helpful, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Tressler 8 will be a close range hunt as well, but this time I'll have to make the kills with a bow. Thanks for watching.